But in this context, it's kind of fucked up because it's like, hold on, but that's a dog. You're getting all dressed up for a dog. But to be fair, Inukai-san did the same thing. Remember, she was wearing that dog or cat-looking ass outfit, and she had the tail plugged into her ass, and it's like, yeah, I don't think you guys should be near dogs. Alright,犬になったらepisode 10. We're getting really close to the end now. There's only like two more episodes after this, so let's just get started. So it starts from the end of the previous episode, where Nekotani is asking whether or not Pochita could potentially be human. Because she's like, you know, you're pretty smart for a dog. You know, you're a dog, but you also look human. Or you also, you're a dog, but you also kind of act like a human. And she just makes an interesting point, and Pochita's like, wait, what the fuck? She knows? Then it cuts to her being surprised and realizing that there's a bunch of hungry dogs standing right behind her, because she smells like hot dogs. So you know they're gonna start chasing after her. Alright, she just starts to book it. She just fucking runs down that damn hallway, like kind of like in the previous episode when he was by it. But like now he's still stuck. So like the dogs are chasing him and he's getting like tumbled over because like he's still on the leash, and I swear this is probably a form of animal cruelty. So he leaps onto her back somehow, and his paws are just kind of like stuck on her. And it says, I gotta do something to get Nekotani to smell less like a sausage party. That's apparently what the subtitles say, and I'm just like, alright bro. At this point I'm just like, alright, the subtitles are very strange. They're inconsistent. Yeah, so she's running, and it's just like, please, I don't want to get bitten by dogs, stop, I don't want to get attacked. It's like, okay, so I need to get her to the pool. He's like, I gotta get her to run into that pool. I'll use her ear as like a steering wheel. I don't know how he did this shit. He bites her ear, and it causes her to turn around. And then he bites her ear a second time, on the right ear this time, to make her turn left, I guess, because I guess that makes sense. And then she ends up running into the school pool because they're trying to avoid the other student because she's not wearing, you know, she's not wearing a skirt. So she's running all the way, and then she's just running, and then she lands in the pool. She crashes into the pool with Pochita. She gets untangled from the dog, from the leash. So Pochita manages to save himself because I guess he knows how to swim. And then Nekotani gets out of the pool, and then they fucking surprise you with her tits hanging out in this episode. Like, it's just all out. At this point, it's all out. And I kind of remember it being a different color. Like, the nipples are like an orangish kind of color. But I remember in one of the previous episodes, I think, when Pochita was licking her, like, shirt, licking her nipples through the shirt, I could have sworn it was more pink. So, I don't know. I can't show that on YouTube, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But it's different from the manga. In the manga, they just fall in the pool, and then she still has her shirt on. She was wearing a shirt underneath the entire time, and then it just kind of gets wet. And you can see the nipples protruding from the shirt, but in this version, in the anime, it's just completely, like, you can just see all the nipple right there. I almost wish like the bra somehow came off, because it's kind of in the way. Yeah, so the dogs give up and they just don't bother. So they leave, and then he's like, well, she doesn't smell anymore, so the dogs aren't so the dogs are heading back. So good for them, you know, they avoided those dogs. She doesn't even realize that like her tits are out. She's like, wait, Pochita, did you just save me again? Also, she looks so good in this part of the manga. Like, she actually looks good in the anime too, and I personally think she looks better with her hair out instead of having the twin tails, but both hairstyles are good. She's honestly just best girl, so she's like, oh no, if she finds out I'm human, I'm gonna have to apologize for being a pervert to her. Oh, definitely. She's like, dang, you're a really smart dog. Yeah, and so she's just walking out of the pool, and then it doesn't show this part in the anime, but it shows in the manga. It shows a quick part of Nekotani, of Inukai-san trying to build those paper mache dog chains and fucking it up. So it shows that for a little bit. Yeah, then it cuts to the part where she's like, wait, I only have a towel to help you get rid of the glue that was on you in the previous episode. I literally do not have a towel to help you get completely dry. She's like, look, she's like, the subtitle says shit got crazy, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just gonna ignore that. But yeah, Nekotani is explaining that like, oh, you know, I fell in the pool and all that, but it's different because she's still wearing the wet clothes when this happened. But then in the manga, she already got changed by that point into the gym clothes. So, and then he's talking about, and then Pochita's thinking about the old Pochita that was, you know, Inukai-san's original dog. But before I get to that, hold on. She's like, oh, I fell in, Pochita saved me, I was in the pool. She's like, isn't that right, Pochita? Right? He's like, that's not what happened, but I'm just gonna say yes. I'm gonna bark and say yes. She's like, see, look, Pochita wouldn't lie to you. Your dog wouldn't lie to you. She's like, okay. Fine, whatever. She's like, you're gonna catch a cold if you don't put some dry clothes on. Get those wet clothes on and change to your gym clothes. Yeah, so that's, so in the manga, it's just already happened, like she already changed and then Inukai-san is walking in to talk to her, but in the anime it kind of happens before that. She's like, could you at least show some emotion? Yeah, so then she starts wiping off Pochita, which wasn't in the anime. I think it might have been. I'm not no, it wasn't. Because she brought that paper chain with her earlier. She's like, oh god, I'm totally soaked. I'm all wet. Oh god, I hate having wet socks. So wet socks is like one of the worst things ever. I think they just extended this scene because they really wanted to show Nekotani changing her clothes. And I don't mind, so alright then. More Nekotani fan service. She's best girl, so I don't care. Yeah, she's just completely changing her clothes. She's like, oh no, even my underwear is wet. I'm gonna have to change my undies. Yeah, she's using her towel to clean the bra. He's like, whoa, Nekotani, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I'm still a dog, bro. I got eyes. I'm looking. He's like, wait, I shouldn't be looking. What the fuck? Yeah, she's wiping her ass. She's cleaning her ass cheeks and everything. It's like, oh, I'm not looking. Yeah, and then this part is different. He's waggling his tail because he sees Nekotani changing her clothes. He's getting turned on. He's like, oh boy, no, I'm not looking. And then he gets his tail grabbed by Inukai. Stay still, Pochita, I need to dry you off. He's like, no, I wasn't looking, no, stop. Kind of looks like she wasn't drying him off. Kind of looks like she was rubbing it somewhere else, but I don't want to comment on it. God, Nekotani looks great with her long hair out. They should just leave her like that. I kind of wish she just stayed like that. Yeah, so she finally gets her hair and everything dried. She's like, oh, I'm stuck wearing this fucking gym outfit. Yeah, and then Nekotani starts to reminisce about like their childhood when they were like best friends, and how Inukai-san used to play with Nekotani's hair all the time and try and fix it. And then it cuts to the part that happens now in the manga where she's trying to make the chain, and the chain she can't make the paper mache chain. She's like, well, he's like, wow, did you make that? It looked pretty good, Karen. She's like, no, it looks like shit. Her face just looks like shit. She's like, I'm gonna have to remake it. She's like, no, I said it looked good, you don't have to do it again. She's like, the old Pochita could make Inukai-san smile. He's like, so I need to make her smile. I'm gonna do something to make her happy. So he's looking around the room. He runs back, he puts his paws in some like black paint. I'm not sure how he like put the paint on his paw, and then ran back on all fours back to where Inukai-san is, especially because they're like near a staircase, I think. And he just runs all the way up to where she is, and then puts his paw print on the dog chain, the paper chain. So he can put his paw prints on it. And it's like, how did he do that? I don't know. You really gotta like suspend your disbelief sometimes in this anime, in the manga, because it's like, dude, like, this guy's a dog, but he's like a super dog, like, not like crypto super dog, but like he's like a super dog. Like, I don't know how the fuck he's doing half of his shirt. Like how he previously like licked Inukai-san's like armpit through her shirt. Like he went under her shirt, licked her armpit, and then it causes her arm to go up, like some Ratatouille shit, where you're like, able to control the human body. I don't know. I thought that was funny. Yeah, so they're back in the the dog cafe, you know, that they're having in their classroom. And it's like, oh hey, Inukai, what the fuck? Is everything okay? Because, you know, she scares everybody. And she's like, yeah, I was making a paper chain, and she's like, oh no, it's fine. You don't have to do any of that annoying stuff if you don't want to. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. I don't need to. She's like, I always thought Inukai wasn't interested in being friends with anyone. But that's not it. She just doesn't know how to talk to people. And she's like, I don't want to talk. She's like, she stopped smiling when she lost the original Pochita. And now everyone thinks she's mean or scared of her. So she needs me to be that Pochita again. He starts barking, and she just drops it. And she's like, oh shit. And then the other girl in the room, she's like, oh hey, did you make this, Inukai-san? This looks pretty cool. She's like, yo, look at the paw prints. They're so adorable. Yo, we gotta start doing that shit. Alright, everyone else is doing this. Alright, everyone get the fucking paw prints on the paper. We're doing this. She's like, wow, Inukai, this is such a great idea. We're totally using this. Alright, you don't mind that, right? She's like, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, you can do that. She's like, oh my god, they're so cute. Look, they got the paw prints on the fucking paper chains. She's like, dang, you really got a knack for this kind of stuff. Yeah, we're doing it. She's like, I didn't do anything though. Like, it was my dog. My dog did everything for me. She's like, okay. She's like, and then Nekotani's like, I haven't seen that embarrassed look on your face in a while. She's like, nice to see that you have emotions again. She's like, thanks, Pochita. You helped me out. You really do remind me of the old one. The old Pochita. See, Pochita was so important to Inukai-san. But what will happen to Inukai-san when her new Pochita disappears? She's gonna be fucking devastated. And then there's a mysterious person in high heels shows up and oh look, surprise, surprise. Look who it is, crotch in view. First thing. Just full crotch. And then she bends down and she's like, oh my god, senpai, I haven't seen you in a while. What's up? And it's like, oh, she just went like crotch first. For a dog. And then Nekotani's like, hold on, is that fucking Skishido? What the hell are you wearing though? Like, what are you wearing? She's like, oh, our class is doing a bunny girl cafe, so I'm wearing the hot bunny girl outfit. Because, you know, that's like one of the best outfits ever. She's like, well, senpai's a little pervert, so I figured he'd want to see me in something this good. And it's like, is she talking about the dog? Is she talking about her real senpai? Because, you know, she calls both of them senpai, so if you know, you know. Especially if you've read the recent chapters of the manga. I can't spoil anything, but it's like, if you know, you know. And but in this context, it's kind of fucked up because it's like, hold on, but that's a dog. You're getting all dressed up for a dog, but to be fair, Inukai-san did the same thing. Remember, she was wearing that dog or cat-looking ass outfit, and she had the tail plugged into her ass, and it's like, yeah, I don't think you guys should be near dogs. She's like, Pochita loves looking at giant tits, and getting into a girl's panties, and other dirty activities. And he's like, yo, what the fuck? She's like, oh yeah, I know. She's like, yeah, I totally know. She's like, alright, Inukai, you wanna have another match, a duel? If my class raises the most money, I get to spend a whole day and do whatever I want with the dog. She's like, hold, and Kotani's like, hold up, the fuck is going on? And then Inukai is like, alright, fine. If my class wins, you'll never be able to bother my dog ever again. Like, get the fuck away from my dog. And it's like, oh, what? And then, like, it shows this part here where they're, like, getting ready to face off. And there's a giant dog and a giant rabbit in the background with glowing, piercing eyes. Reminds me of the meme that you should kill yourself now. Or the motivated meme with Virgil. And then it cuts off there in this episode. So, the really interesting stuff happens in the next episode. Where they completely try to compete with each other. And minor spoiler, but there's more of the girl in the lab coat that happens in this episode, in the next episode. So look forward to that. But based on how many chapters are left, there's only like a small handful. And let me see, just like maybe like 3 or 4 left. I think there has to be at least 3 left. and maybe they'll get to the big reveal at the end of the season, because they can't just have the big plot reveal and then not like show what the big reveal is. Like, they can't just get to that point, because even book 2 doesn't get to that point. Book 2 doesn't end there. It ends like before it gets revealed, so you have to read book 3 and find that out. But you know, it's only 12 episodes or 13, I don't know how many, so hopefully they can get to the big shock moment. Not really shock moment, but you know, it'll explain stuff about how he became a dog, but because they kind of allude to it already with the Valentine's chocolate that he got from the lab coat girl, but we don't know why that happened, or you know, any of the other context for that. So hopefully they can somehow squeeze episode 12 into like a 2-part episode, so like an actual full-length episode, because you know, these episodes are like 11 minutes, or you know, they can just try and milk it and save it for the Blu-ray or OVA or like season 2. Maybe season 2 will happen. If season 2 happens, I'm gonna be right here and I'm gonna make sure I fucking record episodes for season 2. But I don't know. So anyway, that's it. Bye.